Hey, good evening, Midwest Survivor. Time for dinner chat. First off, I want to say thank you to everybody that's checking out the YouTube shorts, the Facebook shorts, the Instagram post, the TikTok post, the X post, the Lemonade post, and the Pinterest post. So thank you all for that. Be sure to click like and subscribe on the channel here. Click the thumbs up, click the bell. We need 50 more subscribers, so if you like the channel, be sure to subscribe to it. So tonight's topic is for dinner chat is when you finally stop blaming yourself. And so, have you ever looked back on a part of your life and thought, if I'd only known, if I'd only seen, if I'd only done something differently? There's so many things in our lives that we carry guilt for, and we shame ourselves for. We blame ourselves for relationships that failed, opportunities that we missed, the abuse we endured. We replay conversations in our minds over and over again, wondering what we could have changed. But I want to talk about what happens when you finally stop blaming yourself, when you stop replaying those questions, when you stop blaming yourself, when you stop thinking about the things that you missed. Self-blame can become a prison with which is very difficult to escape from. When something painful happens, our minds often look for someone to blame. Unfortunately, for most of us, we choose ourselves. We think, thoughts like this: I should have known better. I stayed too long. I should have spoken up sooner. Maybe it really was my fault. These are the thoughts that keep us trapped for a very long period of time after the difficult situation has ended and the time in our life has changed. We made decisions with the information that we had. It's easy to judge your past using the wisdom that we have now. But remember, we didn't always know what we know now. We made the best decisions that we could with the knowledge, the experience, the emotional strength that we had at the moment. And, give your past self some grace that you would offer to somebody else. More importantly, being hurt doesn't mean that you failed. Some people confuse being wounded or being hurt with being weak, and they are not the same thing. Trusting someone who later betrayed you does not make you foolish. It just means that someone had a character defect that let you down. Loving someone who mistreated you does not make you worthless. Wanting to believe the best in people isn't a character flaw. It just means that you had hope and that you were an optimist. Take responsibility for today, not yesterday. There is a difference between responsibility and shame. You can never rewrite or replay yesterday, but you can decide how long you let it live. You can decide how you live today going forward and in the future. So you can set healthy boundaries. You can learn from your experiences. You can choose healthy relationships. You can speak up when something isn't right, doesn't feel right, or it's wrong. And more importantly, lastly, you can keep growing. These are the things that make you powerful. These are the things that make you healthy. These are the things that give you your strength. Healing begins with self-compassion. Imagine speaking to yourself the way that you would speak to a close friend. Would you tell them that they deserved what happened? Would you constantly remind them of every mistake? Hopefully not. Offer yourself the same kind of kindness. Healing grows where grace is given. Your past does not write, nor does it define your future. Your mistakes, your disappointments, your painful experiences, they are just chapters in your life. They are not the title of your life. You are still growing. You are still learning. You are still becoming. So here's some things that we can do to go forward. Number one, stop blaming yourself. It happened. It's over. It's done with. It's time. Today's the day to move forward. Not because something makes sense, not because that it's important that you need to, but you need to decide that your future is more important than regrets, than mistakes, that it's more important than anything else. Being healthy is the most important thing in the world that a person can seize. Mental health affects physical health. Physical health and mental health affect your entire body. You deserve peace. You deserve healing. You deserve the chance to become the person that your past tried to convince you that you could never be. You deserve to be healthy, to be strong, to be happy, and to be successful. So many of us have struggled with blaming ourselves, especially if something wasn't entirely our fault. One of the most important things that a person can do to let go of that burden, to let go of that pain, is to recognize that, one, we are human beings. Two, we make mistakes. And three, the most important thing is to learn from our mistakes. We learn as human beings more from any failure than we do from 1,000 successes. You know, the old saying is that victory has 100 fathers, but defeat is an orphan. That is the same to be true with success and failure. Success has 1,000 fathers, but failure is always an orphan, and we learn more from failure than we do from success. But take the time to give yourself patience, grace, and a little bit of leeway. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to grow from it. And more importantly, it's okay to say that today is the day that my life changes. And I am going to put down the blame. I'm going to put down the shame. I'm going to put down the guilt. And I'm going to say, you know what? It was a rough time in my life. I'm going to grow from this, and I'm going to push forward. So Midwest Survivor, I want you to be healthy. I want you to get healthy. I want you to stay healthy. I want you to be strong, get strong, stay strong. I'll see you tomorrow morning for Breakfast Bits. Have a great evening and take care.